We've gone over the fact that cozy games kind of suck. Now that we've crapped all over them, I was looking through the comments, and one of the comments asked what kind of mechanics would we want to see in cozy games. Since we're all sick of farming, there's gotta be something else the community wants, right? A lot of cozy games are all the same. We mine, we farm, chop, cook, decorate, craft, you know the drill. We need that extra thing to do, something different to keep our attention. So I've gone through all the cozy games I've played, picked out the best mechanics that I think other games could get inspiration from to, add a little something extra. Before we jump into more cozy games, I want to cozy up with today's sponsor, HelloFresh. I love my weekly HelloFresh deliveries. They make eating better easier and way less stressful. America's #1 meal kit showers you in delicious, fresh ingredients that you can use in your chef-crafted recipes. And you don't even have to leave your house. Definitely my favorite part. I'll do anything to stay home and villager hunt and not have adult responsibilities. Outside world who? But my second favorite part about HelloFresh? No more meal planning. I don't have to create a whole grocery list and hope that I actually got everything I need for the meal. HelloFresh has me covered with over 45 recipes to choose from each week. Plus, a ton of market items to satisfy any snack cravings, including desserts. Oh yeah. I need that sweet treat after a nice meal, and HelloFresh agrees. They're giving all new subscribers free dessert for life. That means you'll get to enjoy a free dessert item with every single HelloFresh delivery. How could you possibly say no to dessert? Get your HelloFresh on now. Click the link in the description or use my code to get 16 free meals plus free dessert for life while your subscription is active. Now that we're full of delicious food, it's time to get back to the video. Mini games. New Leaf did this really well. To me, New Leaf was a good addition to the Animal Crossing series, but it wasn't great. It's fun at the beginning, but once you get into it, there's not really a lot to do, just the usual fishing, museum filling, and talking to villagers. Once you get through the beginning of upgrading your house, you were basically done. Building up Main Street was fun, but it took a lot of time. I still don't even have Katrina's store, and the game came out like over 10 years ago. But the one thing that was always there for us, besides the nighttime beetles on Mortimer's Island, the minigames, especially the online minigames. We always had something else to do if we got sick of the normal everyday routine, but these games were incredibly simple. Besides trying to change up my day for a minute, the only reason I played them was to get medals to purchase the exclusive items that were in the island shop. After that, the games were fun for a minute, but the thing to work towards just kind of disappeared and it didn't hit the same anymore. I felt like I was playing for no reason. Maybe that could be fixed with better quality minigames. The New Leaf ones are incredibly simple. Find the fossil matching games or catching the most bugs in a certain amount of time, really simple, easy tasks. Maybe we should make them more in-depth. More than just racing others to pop down balloons or catching those bugs with a certain time limit. And as much as I love Brewster, this coffee minigame could have done with a little more. Instead of us trying to memorize 400 coffee preferences, give us something like the Coffee Talk experience, where they give us a drink and a little twist on that drink for their preference, based on their tastes. They're specific about it. It's not just like, I like coffee, make me something. And then you make it for them and it's not what they wanted, and then you end up just going online to the wiki and looking up what coffee they really wanted, and that's just not fun. Coffee Talk does it right, and has a good story to boot. One thing Animal Crossing does do right, flower breeding. It is so complicated, but not complicated enough that getting flowers is completely impossible. It's just a little bit of time, collaboration, and some trial and error. Unless you're like most people who played New Horizons and just looked up the data mine information. But there was still a way that you could figure out how to get hybrids, and it wasn't that difficult. It just took some patience. I haven't really seen another game do something similar, like adding genetics to flowers. Maybe one of the Story of Seasons games offered some hybridization, but I still like New Horizons version better. It gives you a task and makes you feel like you're solving a puzzle while also getting exclusive items to decorate with. Another mechanic that needs to be improved when it's included, cooking. I feel like the answer to everything so far has just been make this mechanic more in depth, but sometimes that's all you really need. So many games have cooking, but the cooking is just you selecting a recipe and the game doing everything for you. There are some games that do a bit more, like Cooking Mama or Play-Doh, but those are games that only concentrate on cooking, so the cooking better be good. Maybe these cozy games can get some inspiration from them though. Palia is one of those games that takes cooking a step further than most other cozy games. You have to work a bit to find the recipe, whether it's from fishing it up, relationship building with villagers, or just searching the world. Then when you cook, you aren't just letting your character do everything. You have to chop the vegetables, roll out the dough, mix the sauce, bake, stir, flip, everything. They took the time to make cooking an activity instead of a useless mechanic, and I greatly appreciate it. Cozy games allow you to do whatever you want when you want, which is a relief from other games that force you in a linear path pretending that you have any decisions to make during your playtime. But the one thing these linear games have over cozy games? Goals. Cozy games don't have any stakes. There are minimal quests, which makes sense. If a game wants you to be able to do whatever you want when you want, questing and stakes don't really match up with the vibes. You can't really do what you want to do if you're forced into a specific quest. But maybe we need a little bit more goals or something, a job. Once you do the early tutorial stuff in these cozy games, then you're on your own. Maybe give us something a little more to do, like in Stardew Valley. You can do whatever you want, play the game how you want. But it's so much more than just chopping wood, farming, and fishing. There are secrets, extra quests, side adventures, the Skull Caverns, actually interesting NPCs with heart events, storylines to uncover, so much more than just your typical cozy farm sim. And while it has all of these things for you to do, none of it is required. You can still play the game how you want to play. And Stardew kind of has stakes, or at least stakes and goals that we give ourselves, but at least it has potential, like trying to complete the community center within the first year or going for a perfection run. There are ways you can make the game more interactive and more challenging than what is first presented to you. And I know I quickly mentioned that the NPCs are really good, but the NPCs are really good. Games should take Stardew's NPCs as a baseline reference for the future. They all have specific personalities that don't feel generic, cutscenes, likes, dislikes, motives. Even with the 1.6 update and the addition of the Green Rain, each NPC has specific dialogue for the event and ways that they talk to the player based on their personality. Haley hates the rain and is probably afraid of what it's gonna do to her hair, while Demetrius is out there in a full radioactive suit, hanging around and trying to science out the rain. They could have gone all generic, like how in Animal Crossing, villagers just kind of mention that the fishing tourney is happening or that, there's a rainbow in the sky. It's cool that the villagers interact with stuff in real time, but it gets boring when you just go to every single person and they just say, oh wow, fishing tourney today, cool. The Stardew dev went a step further to make the NPCs actually feel worth talking to. Give me some drama, please. Designing. Designing usually needs an overhaul in most of these games. As much as I love New Horizons, it has one of the most basic design mechanics. There's a lot of furniture, sure, but the furniture placing design grid, those squares are huge. You can't really place items next to each other. There are only 4 rotation options. There aren't too many items to decorate the tops of surfaces with. It's still good, don't get me wrong, it gets the job done. You don't sell 40 million copies of the game with a bad main mechanic. But a lot could be improved, and maybe Animal Crossing likes to keep it more simple. Nintendo's for the kids, I don't know. But there are games that do it way better. I praise Palia's designing possibilities. You can stack stuff on top of each other, place items super close together, turn off the placement grid completely, and place items wherever you want. It's really well done. Even Enshrouded has a great decorating mechanic, and it's not really a game about decoration. That's just an extra thing that they kind of tacked on to allow us to decorate our base. Not even close to some main mechanic that they had in mind. If we're gonna have a game that concentrates on decoration as a main activity, make it good. Give us more than just basic options, Animal Crossing, I'm looking at you. These other games are putting you to shame and you're like the OG, man. I love being able to design the world around me. I'll compliment Disney Dreamlight Valley with this one feature. Not a big DDV fan, but they do this part right. They really let you do a lot with your entire valley. And even though everyone has basically the same layout, you can really make the space your own. You put trees where you want, put rocks where you want. There's a bunch of different pathings to pick from. You can put furniture everywhere. And there's a lot of outside decoration items that really make everything pop. There's a reason Dream Snaps are so popular within the DDV community, besides the fact that you can earn in-game currency that costs real money, of course, but decorating in this game is pretty fun. A cozy game's world building, I feel like, is one of the most important things. Having different biomes, different sights to see, makes the cozy game that much more cozy. Palea is doing a great job with this. We have our own housing plot that we can just decorate however we want. A cozy main village where we can go shopping, get some questing done, meet up with other players. And they also have another biome that we can explore to collect exclusive resources. In New Horizons, the Captain Islands do a good job with this. Granted, they're tiny, but there are multiple different biome islands that each have unique resources. If you're not going to have any kind of combat or real stakes, I feel like we need something to keep our attention. And exploring is a great way to do that. It's interesting enough to get us to want to, see what else is out there. Another mechanic to keep us interested, better multiplayer. Animal Crossing is just the worst. And I'm not even talking about the disconnects, which is its own problem. There's just nothing to do. You can catch bugs, go fishing, and that's it. You can't decorate anything, you can't work together, you just kind of exist on the same island together. If a game includes multiplayer, give us something to do. At least New Leaf had mini-games. New Horizons felt like such a step down from what we had in the past. It seems like cozy games struggle with this aspect. I think the best one so far has been Stardew Valley, mostly because you can have an entire farm with someone. You can do everything. Build up the farm, proceed in the story, you can both create relationships with NPCs. You actually play the game together, and what your friend does, if you share money and stuff, affects what you can do. The only downside is someone has to host the farm. You can't just play alone if you're not the host, but otherwise everything is perfect. Most cozy games have a lot of mechanics, but these mechanics tend to be more simple than the mechanics we see in some popular AAA games out there. But there's still a lot to them. There's still a lot of mechanics to work into the game. But I think because there are so many, it's kind of hard to really specialize in a certain area. These dozen activities tend to just be a dozen simple activities instead of a dozen a little more complex, which makes sense. It's a lot of things to put into a game. We're really in the beginning of this cozy boom, and I feel like devs are still trying to figure out what works best. But it's hard when they don't really have a lot of variety of ideas to look back on and get inspiration from. We had Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing in the 2000s? It'll be interesting to see how this space evolves over time. Whenever I play a cozy game, I'm always looking for that new idea, that's something different in a game. Like content warning. Okay, this is not at all cozy, but it's really fun. It takes the best parts of Phasmophobia and Lethal Company and adds it its own twist of the object of capturing hilarious videos with your friends trying to survive these crazy monsters. That's the kind of inspiration that games in general need to take in the future. And I'm not even just talking about cozy games. Don't just remake a game that already exists. Add something new, get creative. What are some games that do certain mechanics right? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!